What's going on, friends? SeanPierceJohnson here. Now, when I got my start in the music business, I was told that this business ran on 3 substances: cigarettes, cannabis, and caffeine. Caffeine, of course, coming from coffee. It's the fuel for creativity, it seems. I don't think a day goes by where I can't at least get my day started without at least having 2 cups. And as a former barista, you can take the barista out of the bar, but you can't take the bar out of the ista. Either way, I retain a lot of that knowledge from my days sitting behind the espresso machine. So I figured, as we're all shut in and the world is going on about its business outside, I'd impart to some of you who probably have never touched a coffee maker in your entire lives my favorite ways of making a good cup of coffee. A damn fine cup of coffee, if I do say so. And so what I want to show you today is what is becoming one of my favorite ways to make coffee in the afternoon. And that is with one of these little espresso pots. And it's very easy. It's a lot easier than you might think. And I'm going to give you a couple tips and tell you about how I go about things, the ritual, as it were, to make sure that this little aluminum pot gives me a perfect cup each and every time. Now, first and foremost, I have found that 2 scoops of whole beans, and this I think is about a, let's see, it's a 7-gram scoop, 0.25 ounces scoop. 2 of these scoops of whole beans, slightly rounded, is going to give you enough coffee to make a really nice cup from this particular method. And I just put that into my grinder, and I always put it in my grinder before I put everything together. So now I take it apart. This is where those coffee grounds are going to go, but down here we're going to put our water. Shout out to Rev Amplification for this awesome reusable water bottle that I got at the NAMM show. And we're gonna fill it just to the bottom of this little washer right here. On the inside there's a little valve that kind of lets excess steam out. So you don't want to fill it above that, because then you're just going to have water spurting out the side of the pot as you go. Now we put in the filter basket, and then we grind. This is what I do. 10 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That gets things broken up. And then let her go. 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shaking as you go. Interesting. Wash your hands for 20 seconds. Grind your beans for 20 seconds. There's a theme of 20 here. Anyway, flip over. Make sure you get all those delicious little berries out of the grinding deal. And you don't want it to be ground too fine. This is not like espresso hockey puck kind of thing. You want it to be just like a normal kind of coffee grind, like you do it in your morning coffee maker. Then you're just gonna put it in a little filter bag, basket, whatever you want to call it, and that's it. It doesn't look very fancy. It's not meant to be very fancy. You just need a little bit of airspace so that when this water starts boiling, it's going to boil up through. This is essentially a tiny little percolator. Ask your grandparents if they have a percolator, or maybe even your parents. They probably have one they'd be willing to let you borrow and try out. Then you screw on this part of the pot, and basically what's going to happen is we're going to put this on the stove. It's going to take about 3 to 5 minutes in order for the water to heat up hot enough to go through the coffee grounds, and then it's going to fill this. Now, one thing I will say about this coffee, it produces a quite strong cup. So if you are not like me and don't like strong coffee, number 1, I would request that you seek professional help. Number 2 is, if you want to dilute it, I'd recommend doing about a 50-50 coffee to hot water ratio, 1 to 1, 50-50. That's what you need to do. That's going to be your most normal kind of cup of coffee, but if you're a cruel and sick person like me, you're going to want that full strength. So I'm going to put this on there, and we're going to have ourselves a cup. Now, in order to brew this, you're going to need to put that pot over medium heat for about 3 to 5 minutes. When it starts kind of puffing up through that percolator spout, either dial back the heat or just close that lid so that you don't get a little spurt at the end when the water's starting to run out, like I kind of did. Now, this is definitely going to be way too hot to drink right now. But it's damn good coffee and hot. So, why show you guys this? Well, I show you because there's a lot of you out there that still have to go on about trying to keep some sort of semblance of normal life right now. Some of you are parents, some of you are musicians, some of you are just working people. That coffee's kind of what gets you going and keeps you going. And at the end of the day, I take a little bit of advice from Dale Cooper, of Twin Peaks fame, of course. And he says, every day, give yourself a little present. And I think that this damn fine cup of coffee is a nice little present to give myself at my midday work portion, and just sit back and enjoy it for a little bit. So in the meantime, I'm going to go finish editing some of those videos that hopefully you guys will be seeing very soon. And if you would like to see a little bit more like this during this very weird time, please let me know. Use the comment section below, and please come back for more videos. I'm not even going to ask you to subscribe. I'm just happy that you're here. Until next time, friends, I'm Sean Pierce Johnson, hoping that you can enjoy a damn fine cup of coffee very soon.